Hello everybody. Surprise, I'm here in an afternoon because yes, today is Veterans Day, so I happen to have the day off. Hey Mike. And so sometime this weekend I wanted to take a look at the Hellslinger demo, which was originally supposed to release on Halloween, but instead they wanted to make sure they got some technical issues sorted out, so they delayed it, and it is out as of exactly today. So, that's what we're here to check out. It is another one of those GZDoom-based games that was teased at Realms Deep. This one is honestly one that I was kind of 50-50 on as to, like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, I'm not sure if there's gonna be, like, visual issues with it, but they've got a demo, so let's check it out and see for ourselves. As always, I'll start off by reading off the Steam store page description. It starts out with, play as the Hellslinger in her battle out of hell. In life she was a reckless outlaw and a gunfighter thought to be unmatched, until a dark turn of fate found her in a hollow grave, and trapped in the infernal realm. After centuries of suffering and torturing, a small splinter of hope finally revealed itself to her from the most unlikely source. But it is a hope that must be fought for. Dual 6-shooters in hand, Hellslinger has the hordes of hell between her and redemption. A bloody path carved from the barrel of a gun awaits. Time is running short, and Hellslinger's journey has just begun. Hellslinger boasts classically styled FPS gameplay that will feel like home to fans of the genre. From blistering run-and-gun encounters to epic set-piece-driven arenas, Hellslinger is replete with tried-and-tested FPS design that has been perfected over more than 3 decades. Layered on top of this are a host of unique elements that add a whole new dimension to the experience that is Hellslinger. Among the features are fast and fierce combat, powerful weapons, regenerating grenades, and special abilities form the backbone of your toolkit, but quick movement and reaction are just as vital. Use everything at your disposal, from melee kills to replenish health, to grenade kills for generating extra ammunition, and never underestimate your enemy. Alright, so that's interesting. This has got some of, like, the Doom 2016 mix-and-match mechanics going on to, like, keep your resources in check. A focus on replayability. 4 player classes to choose from. There's an asterisk next to that. Hopefully the asterisk is somewhere. Oh, okay. The demo features 2 of the 4 classes, Hellslinger and Veronica, which I feel like those are the 2 that the teaser trailer showed anyway, so that's actually fine. I was hoping that we would get to play as both of them in the demo, and it sounds like we will. Each character wields their own distinct weapons, abilities, and playstyles. The unique playstyles thing is definitely interesting, because that makes me think of Assault Android Cactus, and anything that makes me think of Assault Android Cactus is usually a good thing. A narrative-driven campaign. Journey through the infernal realm and discover twisted worlds that mirror history's darkest times as Hellslinger fights to stop Abaddon from turning Earth into the hell that she has known for far too long. Unlockable sigils. Unlock an array of powerful abilities, passive buffs, and gameplay changes by discovering new sigils throughout the campaign to help turn the tide of war in your favor, or to simply spice things up a bit. This feature is not in the demo. A Brave New Hell. Explore an incredible vision of the underworld with completely hand-drawn animations, sprites, effects, and textures, combining both traditional and digital art, bringing a truly unique aesthetic to Hellslinger. This game may contain content not appropriate for all ages, or may not be appropriate for viewing at work. Frequent violence or gore, general mature content. So it's got a content warning at the bottom there. But that is the gist of Hellslinger. Again, I mentioned this is a GZDoom-based game. I'm going to go ahead and fire it up, so let me turn down the music, find my Steam window, and get this thing going. It might take a minute to acquire the video. Oh wait, no, actually it's right there. Okay. And yes, this is another one being published by Hellforge Studios. So, there is your title character, the Hellslinger, right there. Wait a sec, what was that flash, though? Hang on. Is that just part of, like, obviously there's a title screen, like, the background is animated in this case. Okay, yeah, there's a screen flash in the background animation. That's not a good start. Because first of all, screen flashes in general are something that usually most people learn to avoid in the 90s, but also when you're trying to use a menu at the same time, it's incredibly distracting and makes the menu hard to read for a split second, so maybe rethink your background animation to not do that every 10 seconds, because holy shit, that's annoying and jarring and probably actually problematic for some people. Let me just take a look. Okay, so they do list reload weapon here. And, I mean, they did say she has 6 shooters, right? So, like, there's probably gonna be reload mechanics in this. We've got a quick melee key. Other than that, this is mostly the usual stuff. Oh, we actually have the weapons listed here. Terminus hand cannon, Hellbane auto shot, Shredder Spitfire, Annihilator Barrager. Barrager? I don't know how you pronounce that. Perforator, Aggressor. Yo, Perforator? Is this Quake? And not in demo. So I guess that means that each character not only has their own playstyle, they have their own... I guess the text did probably say they have, like, their own arsenal entirely. We've got the usual display size stuff. Okay. That's not too surprising. Also, I gotta get used to this font. It's not quite a monospace font. It looks like it could be, but it's not. It looks like for the most part the letters are the same size as each other, but the spaces are not. And that's kind of surprising. Actually, that might be the only thing stopping it from being monospace, because everything else is perfectly lined up. Yeah, the flashing in the menu screen is really a bad idea. Like, if you don't have, like, presumably they have playtesters. If no one has called that out yet, you need to find yourself a playtester who knows, like, anything whatsoever bare minimum about accessibility in video games. Or in general. Because, like, I don't claim to be an accessibility expert, but it is amazing how many people don't know anything about accessibility. I have had to work with many of them as a software engineer, and it drives me absolutely batty. Toggle weapon screen shake. Okay. I don't know why that says toggle, because it should just be weapon screen shake. It's not a toggle. I mean, like, yes, this option is a toggle, but it's not like you're pressing a button in-game to do it. Like, this is just an on or off. I'm glad that they have this. Talking about accessibility, this is a good thing to see first thing in the options menu. Monsters and map shake intensity. So there's screen shake, but then there's monsters and map shake intensity. I'm not sure what that's talking about. We've got... Okay, you can turn on or off voice lines. What the heck? Wow, and this isn't even the highest setting. Obnoxious is the highest setting. You've got introvert, which is very rare. You've got normal, which is default, but it wasn't actually the default. Verboragic was what this was at. So that might just be a slight oversight in the demo release. Frequent, verboragic, and obnoxious. Let's actually put it down to normal default, because I have a feeling the voice lines will get old very fast if we have it on anything more frequent than that. Reload type, automatic or manual. I'm curious about that because there's a reload key, so like... Does automatic just mean it'll also do it when you run out of ammo? I'm assuming that's what it means. Toggle low ammo sound, that sounds like a good thing. Damage multiplier, okay, so this is actually like a, arguably a difficulty, knob in and of itself. So, I appreciate that they have a whole bunch of, like, well, most of these are more or less accessibility related. Enhanced night vision mode. I don't know what that means. Mouse sensitivity, I'm gonna do what I usually do here, which is something like that, I think. We do have mouse and menus. I'm just gonna turn that off just to be on the safe side. I have no idea how quiet these sounds are right now. I should probably increase them. Let's balance the sound effects a little higher. And then put the whole thing up, I guess, and we'll see how that works out. Performance options. Interesting. I'm not going to worry about these right now, but it is nice that they have a bunch of performance tuning options. So that's nice to see. I wonder if Nash had any input on this, because Nash had like a ton of performance options in the Disdain demo. Alright, Vulkan, yeah, I figured this was using Vulkan. That's usually why OBS actually picks it up very quickly. I guess all this stuff is probably just going to stay where it is. Max FPS I can turn down to like that. How loud is that music? That music is actually surprisingly loud. Let me go in here and actually turn... something like that. Hey, Knive. Well, I'm just going through the options before we actually head into the Hellslinger demo. I apologize in advance for, well, or not in advance, for the screen flashing that's going on, because apparently they thought it was a good idea to have a constant screen flash in the repeating loop of the title background, which is a very bad idea. And the fact that nobody immediately called that out as, hey, this is a bad idea, you should not do it, is not a good sign going into this. I already looked at that. What's in advanced? Oh, this is like the full GZDoom menu. Okay, let's jump into new game. This is an early build of Hellslinger. This is work in progress, so things are subject to change for the full release. Demo may be updated frequently, so previously saved states will most likely break in between updates. It's good that they have that warning in there, because that did happen to me when I played the Hands of Necromancy demo. Okay, so here's our character select, and as they mentioned on the Steam page, you have a choice of Hellslinger and Veronica in the demo. There will be 4 character classes in the full game. More characters coming soon, it says. Let's start with Hellslinger. We'll start with the title character. Hopefully we'll have time to check out both. Choose your episode, tutorial and demo. Okay, sure. Okay, they do have difficulty levels. In addition to having a damage multiplier in the menu, they also have difficulty levels. Actually, hang on. I want to check one thing. Which thing was that in? Was that in here? Yeah, so the one thing that's unclear to me about this is kind of ambiguous. Is this my damage? Is this enemy's damage? Is this both? I don't know. So that would be something worth clarifying. I don't think there was there any help text anywhere on this? No, I don't think so. Alright. Let's go ahead and do... So what are our difficulty levels called? Steel Yourself, Let Battle Commence, Bring the Pain, Torment Rising, and Crucified in Flames. We'll go with the middle. Oh, okay, it gives you descriptions here. So, Steel Yourself, players receive 50% less damage, health and armor drops are worth double, enemies are weaker and less aggressive. I wonder... Like, I remember Age of Hell had a lot of tuning to the difficulty levels, and I wonder if this is, like, anywhere on par with that. Health and armor drops are still worth double, enemies are weaker and less aggressive. Standard health and armor drops, enemies are tough but not overwhelming. Ammunition drops are worth half, enemies are fast and lethal. That seems like a, like, how do you balance things to where oh wait, no, this is health and armor. This is ammo drops. Okay, so the first 3 difficulties, ammo is the same. Then they start pulling back on ammo resources. So basically they require you to be more accurate and efficient. The question is, are enemies tankier? It says fast and lethal. It doesn't say tankier, so hopefully the enemies still take the same amount of shots to kill. On the hardest difficulty, enemies deal double damage, melee kills, and special abilities are the only source of health. Okay, interesting. They did mention that in the Steam store page, that, like, meleeing for health, and then using grenades for ammo, I think, and then grenades recharge over time. So there's a whole, like, rock, paper, scissors system just in terms of, like, resource distribution going on in this. Alright, so they did mention that, like, there's a lot of, like, hand-drawn artwork and stuff in this. You can already tell that, like, everything is very, like, cel-shaded in appearance. That's also neat. Oh, that's lore. Okay. Oh, okay, right. This is our tutorial, so these are things that tell you what to do. I would not have guessed that, but I guess they figure you're naturally drawn to this. But it would be nice to know that, like, this is something you're supposed to read, because this doesn't look like something you're supposed to read. So anyway, interaction button. I also don't know, did that symbol just, was that symbol always there? I heard a sound at some point, and I was kind of wondering why. Okay. Alright, cool, so they're teaching us to interact with things to get a key. I feel like I should probably... There's no brightness settings in there. Really? You would think video options would have brightness settings, but it doesn't. So I feel like this could stand to be a little brighter, but I guess I'll go into the full options if I feel the need for that. Also, oh, another thing that I should probably go into the full options for, I don't know about everybody else, but I always hate the default, well, I don't even know, this might be customized, but it looks close enough to the default, yeah, no, I would definitely I'm definitely hoping to. I mean, they should have discussion boards on Steam, so if nothing else, I would tell them there about the screen flashing. I am not a fan of the whole like tan background on maps because it tends to be like extremely excruciatingly low contrast. So I am going to go in here. It does say custom. Let me see if this works. It does not. This the Relentless Frontier demo had the same issue. Or rather, at least the latest version of it had the same issue, which wasn't the actual, like, that wasn't... I played the Patreon demo a couple of months ago, and that's like an early version of what will eventually be an updated demo available to everybody. That's also hopefully coming this month, I think. But that was one of the problems in that, too, was that the map color set option didn't work, and the same thing is true of this one, so you're stuck with the color scheme they give you. Let's hope it's accessible enough. I need to get used to... Yeah, so, like, jump is on space. Alt-fire, I think, is on right-click. I'm not actually sure... Wait, where the heck? Customize keys is the very first thing. It's right there. It's actually kind of surprising that, like, customized keys and mouse options are separated by game options. Yeah, Alt-fire is mouse 2, so I tend to like to have jump on mouse 2, but until I find out what the Alt-fires are like, I should probably keep that there. It is interesting that they make this come up without interacting, precisely because it teaches you how to interact. Okay. Oh, well. Is there a reason that it goes all the way up there, though? Can I actually go all the way up there with it? Yes, I can. It seems like you have to trigger that from this side, though. Okay, my jump does actually clear that. We've got another tip over here, it looks like. Oh, we've got dashing. Dash is great for dodging enemy attacks and increasing mobility during combat. If used immediately following a jump, it can also help with traversing gaps and higher leaps. Oh, because... Yeah, alright. Let's try this. Does it also make you jump far? I feel like it also makes you jump farther if you use it before a jump as well. Maybe not quite as pronounced, though. Actually, it kind of seems like it has a similar effect. That felt like a rather precise jump, like you kind of had to stop on a dime in there. This is your melee kill. Always drop bonus health. This attack is generally ineffective against larger enemies, but will instantly kill most fodder. Okay. Try meleeing these suspiciously laid-back hollows. Okay, so this immediately brings up the concern that I had watching the trailer for this game. These guys actually do stand out fairly well. Like, they're bright enough. That might be because of the lighting on these sectors, I don't know. But I was definitely worried. We're gonna have to see what happens as I get into the game. I'm worried about, like, how much these will stand out from background, which is a very common problem to run into with GZDoom-related content. Alright, so those actually, when you kill things with melee, they give you health bonuses, so it's not a whole lot of health, but it can also overheal you. Also, apparently I can't even, like, your kick is, like, a dedicated button full time. Like, you can't actually switch to, like, exclusively melee as a weapon.
Hit the bucket already!
I don't even know what I just... Oh, is that like... Hang on. That's a special or something. Use active skill. Control. Yeah, I just accidentally pressed control and that was what happened. So... And that's not an alt-fire either. I feel like I need to come up with a better button to put that on. Because I'm going to end up hitting that by accident or something. Because I was just trying to dash and I hit control instead. Loot chests. Well, we got dynamite sticks. Apparently there was another one. How do I switch to dynamite optics. Oh, wait, is that my special now? I'm confused, because there's still the hexagon in the middle. That's what that sound was at the beginning. It was the special recharging. How do I use the dynamite? Is that my alt-fire? No. What other keybinds do we have? Oh, activate... That's my grenade. Okay. Yeah, they call them quote-unquote grenades on the Steam store page, but they're explosives in a more generic sense. And this is about to tell me about them. Go figure. Throwable kills will always drop bonus shells and bullets. You can find and carry a max of 5 throwables and passively regenerate up to 2 at all times. Hellslinger's dynamite explodes on impact. Try exploding more of these questionably docile hollows. Oh, and all pickups seem to attract you as well. Alright, so... Actually, where is my ammo indicator? Because I don't see one. At all. Unless I have infinite ammo with this. What if I reduce my HUD? So that's interesting, actually. The supposedly not full-screen HUD and the full-screen HUD are actually just, like, rearrangements of the same thing, basically. You should be able to... Actually, let me make sure I'm not blocking anything really quick. Oh, I am conveniently blocking exactly where the throwable is. Let me fix that. I guess I'll move myself further to the right? That might... No, I'm still kind of blocking it. I feel like there's not going to be a perfect solution to this, but I'll move myself to the right for now. That's what we're going to do. Oh, I can actually just walk up those. Those look deceptively like very large steps, but I can apparently walk up those steps. Oh yeah, one thing that I'm realizing is there's like a very short screen flash on dashing. I wonder if that's configurable. Because there's weapon screen shake and stuff. There's shake intensity, but there's no, like, screen flash intensity. That would be another good thing to add. Alright, now they talk about the special attack. Hellslinger's Concussor Shot. This 2-shot attack will pierce enemies, drop bonus health and armor, and stun lock even the larger foes. Active abilities passively regenerate over time. Try using the Concussor Shot against these chargers. Chargers, huh?
Hit the bucket already.
Okay, so now I'm seeing the weapon screen shake. Also, there is no auto-fire on this weapon. I'm also surprised, though, that I don't have to reload, because I thought that was going to be a thing. I worry about the lack of auto-fire, because you're going to tire your hand out really, really fast using a weapon like this. I guess this is where we're going now. Tutorial complete, and just like that, you're ready for the Infernal Realm. Press the switch to exit the level and begin the demo. From the menu, you can also try replaying the tutorial with the other player class. I was wondering about that. Like, would they actually change the tutorial? I mean, at the very least, you could experiment with their weapons. Each class features their own weapons, abilities, and equipment. Interesting how the count-up doesn't have a noise. Only the end value has a noise, because in Doom, all of them make noises, but that might actually be a good call to change that. You do have a pretty fast movement speed. Find the entrance to the Dark Priest Citadel. That does show up in your console, so if you missed reading it the first time, you can still see it. Also, actually, I just realized something. They have a screen size toggle in here, or rather a slider in here, but what they don't have, unless it's in video. Oh yeah, scale factor. Wait, turning scale factor higher makes fonts smaller? That feels backwards. Okay, that will, that mostly scrolls? That's a little glitchy. If I press up, it doesn't actually scroll all the way down. I wonder what happens if I... Wait, what? That's 1.0. That's 0.75. That's 0.5. Why is 0.5 the same as 1.0? And then 0.25 is like 0.75 except also sideways letterbox? What is going on with this thing? That doesn't make any sense. Something is very odd about the scale factor slider. Alright, well, I was gonna try setting it even lower and then see whether this menu scrolled correctly, but I don't know if I can actually test that. But what I was hoping is... Oh, interesting. It actually shows you what it's doing here. I mean, supposedly that's the value it's setting to. I don't know. Something is very odd about that. But yeah, I was mostly hoping to make the font in the console easier to read, which it should be easier to read now. And also maybe the messages at the top of the screen, too. I am so worried I'm gonna miss switches. And forget about use to activate. Alright, presumably if I go down there, I die. Let's find out. Oh, it actually just damages me and brings me back up there. Okay. Souls, hit points. Wait, what was that sound about? Reminder, combining jump and dash can be used to traverse large gaps. Oh, jeez. That is very bouncy. Like, I just kind of slid off before I had a chance to jump again. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up wanting to tone down the weapon screen shake. And actually, there were a couple of things, right? Because there's weapon screen shake. And a multiplier for it, which is nice. But then there's monsters and map shake intensity. I'm not sure I understand what the heck that is. I don't know if that's like when you take damage or what. Yeah, see, like, these guys practically invisible. This is here? Oh, that's funny. I leave footprints when I kick things. Does this cast light at all? Yeah, only at a very, very small point. Okay, yeah, those are not bonuses. So you gotta learn to tell the small ones from the big ones, because the small ones are bonuses and can overheal you. Did these guys infight? I don't think so. I did not see that guy at all. Yeah, these enemies are nearly invisible. I'm taking damage from things that I don't even see. Wasn't there another one? Oh, hey, look, it's a not scrag. So yeah, that's medium, this is large. These are somewhat distinguishable, because, like, those are two separate things. This is, like, three separate things. Like, the shape is slightly different, but I still feel like you might want to do more to distinguish the different-sized health pickups. Get a yellow skull key. Can I destroy the box? Oh, I can destroy the box. Kind of. Okay. Also, is anyone else finding it, like, just a little hard to see things? Or is that just me? What the... All I wanted to do was break them. What? I move forward when I kick, which makes it nearly impossible to destroy that with a kick, because you end up just going up the step instead. So, destroying some things is much harder than it should be. I mean, just overall things seem a little, like, dim and... Yeah, like, everything is brown and gray. Like, so it's a little hard to discern even just, like, geographical features sometimes, too. Oh, you know what I should be doing? Should be using that. Especially when, like, the health pickups draw towards you when enemies drop them, and that causes, like, little screen flashes, too. Like, those screen flashes are by far the easiest things to see in the entire game. Like, when you're squinting to try to make out enemies against the background, and then the screen flashes, it's like, well, I guess I'm just blind now. So were these also key doors? It's funny how it's saying press use now, but it didn't say that on the yellow skull key door. Whoa, he did his zoom. That was interesting. Alright, so those guys can basically also dash. Those are also explosives. I just realized that I should test that theory. I honestly think the character maybe moves a little too fast. More dynamite sticks. Well, there's one of the keys. I guess the yellow is probably the last one we're getting. What is this? Is that... Cursed armor soul, that's 25, okay. That one was pretty visibly bigger. It should not... Why did I move that much when I kicked? Like, there was one time I kicked where I kind of stayed still, but then now every time I seem to just move forward a ton, which I'm really not expecting. Like, even if I'm moving backwards, it stops me and moves forwards. Like, I think you gotta rethink your melee. I can kind of see why you might want to do that, just to, like, make sure that your melee actually hits enemies, instead of, you know, being just slightly too far away from them. But moving the character that far forward makes it impossible to use melee with any kind of precision whatsoever. Of course, I suppose the gist is also that, like, this gun apparently has infinite ammo, and I shouldn't be bothering to kick bottles. Oh, okay. Battle elevator. Alright, I'm very confused because... Did I actually get hit there? It made the sound as if I got hit, but I didn't notice what I got hit by, if I did. Hey, we got a weapon. A different weapon. With ammo. Am I blocking the ammo? No, you can kind of see the ammo there. Yeah, so there's no... Oh, hello. So there's no ammo indicator on this weapon. Okay, I definitely did walk into that. Those guys were literally right next to me. Whoops. I guess we should try this new weapon. That guy is basically invisible. Blue enemy, blue room. Whoops. It's actually surprising how often enemies come from right field. And I'm not expecting them. And they just kind of seem surprising. The thing is, like, I feel like enemies in this game don't audibly announce themselves the way that enemies in Doom announce themselves. And I think that's what's throwing me off guard a lot of the time. Okay, alright, well, I'm right back here, so that's where I need to be. I see, so we went around up there, we got the key, it brought us down here to right where we need to use the key. What is that? Is that shells? That's shells. Oh, apparently my max is 40 anyway, so I should have been using that more. I mean, the fact that you do have unlimited ammo for this kind of also, you know, tempers the whole, like, limited ammo on higher difficulties requirement, I guess. Can I go down there? Probably not. I do think the music is pretty neat. Is that a thing that I can interact with? This is not a thing that I can interact with, it's just here. After the things in the tutorial were like, you know, crystals that you have to walk up to get lore, I'm very surprised that that doesn't do anything. Wait, can I shoot it? Doesn't seem like it. Wait, does this use 3 shots at once? Yeah, it does. So, we basically have the Widowmaker from Arcane Dimensions, except I think this one has a longer cooldown, potentially. Maybe I shouldn't have picked up the shells right away, because I didn't really need them. What on earth is shooting at me?
You're slowing me down!
Okay, these things are rude. They also seem to, like, come out of nowhere? Okay, so what did that actually do, though? It's very dark in here. Okay, the Shredder gun, which totally looks like the flat cannon from Unreal Tournament or something. I bet this will run out of ammo real fast. Alright, guess we're going there later. I'm assuming this will hurt me. No, apparently not. After our only interaction with liquid of any sort was, like, death pits before, or, like, teleportation pits, I guess. That's a very weird... That's a very weird splash effect, but that seems to be all that is. Okay, is this ammo for this? Yes, it is. And yeah, 200 is our max for that. So 40 is our max for that, 200 is our max for this. Oh. I feel like I shouldn't be using, you know, big weapons against the fodder enemies. These guys, on the other hand, need a taste of their own medicine. Oh dear, what's going on? Oh, okay, this is coming down. Oh, hello.
You're slowing me down!
Shotgun does seem pretty good at taking things out, though. We'll say that. Okay, I kind of missed, but I kind of did.
End of the line for you.
Okay, it starts warning you when you're low on ammo. Okay, and those were like small and large ammo pickups for this. Ow? What did I take damage from? I have no freaking clue, but suddenly I lost like 20 health again. Yeah, Pen, it's an interesting visual style, but I wish it weren't as hard to see as it is. Also, maybe I should have used some dynamite during that whole fight. That probably would have been a good idea. So, what did that all accomplish? 'Cause I don't think I understand what that all accomplished. Also, there are 4 secrets in this map. I need to zoom in this map. It's nice that they have some symbols on it to show where, like, key doors and stuff are, but yeah, this color scheme is not the greatest. Tan background usually is big problems for map contrast. And unfortunately, setting it to the Doom color scheme doesn't work. Alright, so why was I taking damage in here before? What if I just, like, throw a grenade in here? Yeah, why does that hurt me? So, like, apparently there's just damaging sector in there for some reason. And you can't see anything, so you have no idea why it's damaging sector, but it is. Yeah, well, to be fair, the default GZDoom map format or style is the, is kind of like a tan background. I don't understand why that's their default style, because I think it's terrible. It's also arguably kind of close to the Heretic map style. But yeah, I always heavily prefer Doom's, because yeah, turns out black background gives you a much fuller color spectrum that you can visibly use against it with high contrast than a tan background does. Alright, what is all this? Oh, another key. Also, what is this? This is a loot chest. An armor spell for 50 armor points. That's our red key. That's presumably our red door that we're across from right now. We've got a bunch of ammo resources. Oh, wait. That does blow that open. Okay. A backpack with lots of ammo. Does that actually increase my cap? Yes, it does. Okay. That increases my cap to presumably double. Given that I have 68 of that now, my cap was 40 on this before. Alright, so I think I'm going over there now. There wasn't anything on that side, right? Right. Okay, it seems like fall damage is probably not a thing in this. It's over here. Chest. Oh, so the yellow skull key is actually secret. Interesting. Okay, so in terms of visibility of things, one thing I do appreciate is that the doors are very well marked with these things. That was not considered a secret, actually. The other thing that was explodable was considered a secret, but this was not. This looks explodable, maybe. Or maybe not. Okay, this is a secret. So yeah, the whole yellow key area is apparently a secret. Is this the red key door? Or... like, does this actually... no, that can't be right. What the... defeat the wave. Sigil arena, alright. I thought they said sigils weren't in the demo. Alright, so this is where visibility is going to be a problem, because now we have invisible enemies and fog. Also, yes, this is definitely a wave.
Good, bad. I'm the capital gun.
Oh, I got stuck in a wall. It seems like I don't always make damage noises. Okay, was that the whole thing, or was there multiple waves? Okay. And that unlocked... another Hellbane! Wait. You got the another Hellbane. It's not just another Hellbane, it's the another Hellbane. And yes, both characters in the demo are female. Suffice it to say, a lot of the boomer shooters being made currently feature female protagonists. You got these, you got Sulaco. Obviously, you had Ion Fury a few years ago, which I guess was the follow-up to Bombshell, technically. And now they're making a new one. What's the name of the new one again? I can't remember. Might be Phantom Fury. So that sure looks like it would have been a red key door as well. Did that just open the same thing up again? Is this gonna be a different wave now? Like, what? Why is it telling me to go in again? Oh, this is a different wave. Oh god, these guys explode. That seems bad. Perhaps I should have actually gone through the red key door first. They also fire grenades, apparently. Ow. Oh, I have 9 health. Cool. I should probably fix that. Alright, so when you get to low health, apparently, your pain noises get really obvious. But before that, it's actually kind of overlookable.
Look it already.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I saved before that. How about we go through the other red... Wait, is this the other... Hang on. No. The other red key door is here. Let's go through this first. You're a big dude.
Die, freak!
Okay, that took quite a bit of ammo to take down. I'm guessing I don't want to go out there. I can't jump up there. Wait, maybe I can. I needed to dash. guy was also nearly invisible. Tan dude, tan background. There's another one of these things that I don't know what they're for. I got the another Hellbane again. Does this close? Yeah, that answers that question. Once you walk through there, it's a point of no return? Yeah, it is. Okay, so if we want to try doing this, we gotta try doing this now. That's not a very well-designed point of no return. I mean, in general, I feel like points of no return are bad, but like when you can't tell that it's going to be a point of no return, that's worse. You would think that these guys could like blow each other up or something. That would be useful. It's really hard to see their projectiles too. Not good. I got totally... It's hard to see anything in this game, I'm sorry, but it seriously is. Like, it should not be this surprising when I'm getting hit, because, oh, actually the enemies were fucking invisible. Wait, which side of... Okay, they're coming out of over here. And, I mean, the fog in this area doesn't help. That took out a bunch of them. All it takes is getting blindsided by one of those. It was behind the corner from me, so how was I even supposed to see it? And all it takes is one, and you're dead. I was at like half health though, to be fair, but like, that's just kinda shitty game design if you ask me. You should be able to tell what is killing you before you die, ideally. Not have done that. That was incredibly stupid. And one grenade got me. What is up there? I don't know what that is. That looks like it could be a sigil, but again, they said those weren't in the demo, so... I would like to find out what that is, but I'm not sure I'm going to without, like, reducing the damage multiplier or something. And you could also argue, like, yeah, I could go and play this on the easiest difficulty. But, like, having to do that just to cover for the fact that you can't see anything in the game just seems bad. And granted, again, I basically saw this coming when I saw the trailer. So I am not surprised in the least. I was hoping that it might actually be better in practice. And that, you know, maybe stream encoding was not being kind to the trailer during Realms Deep. I completely whiffed. Shit, there's more of them. Okay, so there's immolators, and then there's something else, and then there's more immolators. And the thing is, you can't really mess with the difficulty setting mid-game. I could mess with the, oh god, what menu was it in? Was it in this menu? Yeah, the damage multiplier. See, I don't know whether this is global or if it only applies to enemies or if it only applies to you. I guess we're gonna find out. Well, they still die in one hit, one way or another. Okay, it probably only applies to what damage they do to me, if I had to guess. Because that probably would have killed me otherwise. Well, I'm almost dead anyway. I'm stuck. Also, good arena design. You can get stuck. I'm pretty close to just giving up on the arena. That even hit me from that distance. Also, wait a minute. Now I'm only... I thought I was spending 3 ammo per shotgun blast before. I'm only spending 1 now.
Hit the bucket already. Hit the bucket already.
And here's the immolators again. Okay. Well, let's see what this other thing is then. The Spirit Fortitude. Okay, it was a 100 hit point pickup. I could have just not done that and saved myself the trouble. Yeah, I suppose it destroyed my nice health amount. Okay, so back to the actual red door now, I guess. Oh, okay, he can do that. I'm pretty sure he caused me to miss.
Hit the bucket already.
Yeah, stunning them sooner rather than later, probably a good idea. That's weird. If you accidentally hit control when it's not charged yet, it does still, like, hide your weapon for a second, though. But I actually meant to hit shift, not control. This is why I think control is not the greatest key binding for that, but I don't know what I want to switch it to. Maybe middle click? That might be a good idea. Nothing else is assigned to middle click as far as I can tell. How do I, like, clear this? That's how I clear it. Backspace. I guess I call you Corzo now? You renamed, huh? To make it clearer that you're involved with Relentless Frontier? Remember that guy being there. Do you have one of the badges to say you're a developer for Relentless Frontier or something? So that's a thing that Twitch does now, right? It's like they let you mark that you're the game developer. You're not sure how much you like it, but you're stuck with it for 6 months? Oh, I thought it was 3 months that you had between renames. Yeah, given that if Relentless Frontier is listed as a game, then maybe that's something... I don't know how hard it is to go about getting that set up. got the another Hellbane again. Okay, so this is where I ended up at a surprising point of no return before. So this is something that I think is not good. Because once you walk into here, you are no longer in the same place anymore. And if you walk back, you take damage. There are monster closets that you'll take damage in, and you'll also take damage if you just try to go right back out the door that you just came in here. That seems bad to me. Like, just close the bars behind me or something if you want to do that. There's no reason that you need to, like, teleport me to a different place and also cause damage if I back up. So that's pretty rude. Yeah, actually, I was mentioning before, you were originally hoping to have another demo out, another version of the demo out this month, right? Whoops. Well, that column really got what was coming to it. Oh, right. I rebound this. Now I'm forgetting that I rebound that. In a way, the pickups rushing into you when you melee or use your special on enemies is kind of satisfying, but it can also be surprising if you're also trying to focus on other enemies that are hard to see, like these guys.
Die, freak!
I'm taking a lot of damage here. Although it's apparently still nothing compared to the immolators. And I'm out of shells. Oh, that's a bad time to run out of shotgun shells. If one of these guys is showing up. Wait, there's more right there, though. Oh, those guys also kind of charge at you. Didn't realize they do it too. Yeah, I have to say, I have to admit, I've been a little harsh at some points in this. Especially in the secret arena, because I feel like enemy visibility is a problem in this game, and then the secret arena also has fog on top of that. Not a good combination. So, I do appreciate, like, there's definitely some accessibility options in the menu, and I definitely appreciate those. So it's got some good ideas, but I think it needs more good ideas. Also, actually, the #1 thing to pass on to the devs is the title screen. The title screen has a full screen flash in its animation. So, like, that happens every, like, 10 seconds or so while you're, like, trying to read menus and stuff, too, which is super annoying. And full screen flashes are probably something you want to avoid. So, like, you might just want to subdue that part of the title screen animation loop. Wait. Oh, am I allowed to leave again now? Is this where I came in before? I think? I don't know if this is this, or is this where I'm coming out? It's a good question. Is that where I came in? That might be where I came in. So it might still be point of no return, or there might be another way to loop around. Might actually not get past compliance if it gets ported. You mean to the consoles and stuff? Yeah, the tutorial seemed fine. The one thing I found surprising about the tutorial was, like, the things that you walk up to get tutorial hints don't look like things that would give you tutorial hints. It's like, oh, there's this random pile of crystals with a flag on it. What's that? Oh, suddenly I have text to read. Okay. And, like, it's good that the first one gives you hints about the use key, because, like, yeah, you're definitely, like, the game definitely has hints and reminders in the right places of, like, don't forget you have a use key, don't forget you have dash. So it's definitely good that they remind people of that stuff. But, like, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna put a thing that shows text, like, Make it, like, literally a signpost or something that makes it indicative that it's going to show text, I guess? I don't know. I mean, it's not the worst because, like, the crystals do kind of naturally draw your attention. Oh, yeah, okay. This is where I went in before. So we do... Okay, we did get the full way around. But that is still a one-way warp. Which is just kind of weird. Like, why do that? Why not just bar the entrance? Like, that also makes it unnecessarily confusing on my way out. Alright, so I guess I'm going over here then. Also, one thing is, I appreciate that there's screen shake, options, but there's no screen flash intensity options, and that would be good to have if possible too. Also, this has the same problem that, if I recall correctly, the in-development demo for Relentless Frontier had, where the options for the map color scheme don't work. You're stuck on custom, basically, even if you pick something else. And, oh wow, I thought I wasn't gonna make that jump. And, like, I mean, I know, like, the default GZDoom color set is tan background. I know the Heretic color set is tan background. I always feel like tan background is super problematic because it's harder to pick contrasting colors against it. So, like, I always change to the Doom color set, if at all possible, because it's way higher contrast. I did say before, though, that I do think the music's pretty cool. I definitely appreciate the whole, like, hand-drawn art style and everything. I do think that, like, some things could contrast better, especially enemies. Like, there were a lot of times where I was getting hit and I was like, what the hell was even hitting me? And part of it is just the fact that, like, enemies don't audibly announce themselves the way that they would in, like, vanilla Doom. Alright, so what are we doing now in here? Oh, surprise! Oh, I think this is the part that might have been in the trailer, potentially. Alright, well, they're giving me armor. Wait, what? I didn't kill him. What is happening here? They're just self-destructing? Oh, hello. It's a big dude. Okay. Actually, on the bright side, he actually shoots slower, but I think he kind of homes in a little bit. What was he doing that time? Are there multiple of them? Oh no, they're just also self-destructing while I'm doing this. Okay. I need to use the big shot.
You're slowing me down!
Okay, he's dead. And now everything is lowering. Also, there are more enemies. Oh, okay, so we're not done with the arena. The boss was just the beginning, apparently. And now we got another big dude somewhere. Oh, we got multiple big dudes. Holy shit. But yeah, like, the blue guys are so hard to see. I was hoping to get both of them. Okay, they're dead. Oh, hello, I backed into you. Also, I always forget to use grenades. We're still not done, huh? It's interesting that they actually autosave, like, during the arena. Oh, okay, we got another one of the big dudes. He wasn't a one-time boss. Oh, I'm stuck in a corner again. That happens to me... Well, that is at least the second time that has happened to me. I don't like it.
Die, freak!
He's not dead yet.
charges target practice.
Got any ammo left? Or did I pick it all up? I think I picked it all up. Alright, let me catch up on chat a little bit. All the enemies make you think of Serious Sam. The problem you have with Serious Sam is that game loves to use points of no return. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's... I feel like points of no return seem to be generally frowned upon, at least in Quake, although I have seen some mappers do it. But I feel like as you get more and more into modern Quake mapping history, like, it's generally a thing that you see less and less of. Sounds are kind of whispery sometimes. Might be good to make them bark. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was the thing with that one point of no return that, like, closed up behind me, was, like, it would be one thing if you just put the bars up, but, like, when you silently teleport me, or do something like that, that makes me worry that, like, I might never get back there again. And then at the end, it turns out I can get back there, but, like, the same thing happens even if you do the round trip again, and it's like, but why? Especially when you make backing up put you into a damage zone. Like, the damage sector, the pitch black damage sectors in this are one of the weirdest features. But I definitely do get that there's a combination of exploration and arenas going on in here. They've certainly cemented that. I would imagine that these are even damage sectors. Yep. Basically, any enemy closet is a damage sector, is kind of the gist I'm getting. Which, I don't know. That seems kind of not great, just because it's like, you can't see anything in there anyway, so why does it have to damage you? I mean, usually when you have, you know, pitch black monster closets like that in Quake or something, it's just, okay, it's a dead end, you live here now, but, like, it doesn't damage you. Interesting that this looks like a blue key door when I've had the blue key since very early in this level. The Citadel entrance lies just ahead. Lots and lots of health that I apparently don't... Those are very... Are those the 25s or are those 50s? Those might actually be 50s or something. I can't even pick them up. It's just like, here, have your health back in case you didn't. Is this symmetrical? How many I ended up with 2 out of 4 secrets. I guess it's not terrible. That is a definite point of no return. Surprise! Is that the end of the demo or just the end of the stage? There were 325 enemies? Good grief. And I actually killed everything. I'm assuming that number could maybe go up with the secrets, though. So I'm definitely not going to have time to play through as Veronica as well. I might try to at least do the tutorial with her, though. If they're both in the same place, I did do 2 arenas, but it was actually kind of the same arena with different enemies both times. Okay, they're immediately giving me all the guns that I already have. So I guess that's your pistol start scenario. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of demo length. Okay, I don't know if going over here did anything for me. The thing I was really surprised about in the options was, like, as far as I can tell, there's no brightness options anywhere, other than if I go into advanced. Seems like brightness might be something that you want to, like, expose through your own menus. Because, like, even right here, like, this is super cool scenery up here. I feel like it's a little hard to see, which makes it very easy to just miss it entirely. I feel like there's maybe, I don't know, maybe there should be some light coming through there or something. Well, I guess there are some kind of, like, light rays, but those are actually just kind of masking everything and making it harder to see. So you actually end up missing the details because of it. that rats? Alright, there's stuff down there. I keep wanting this to do something, but as far as I can tell, they don't do anything. Like, you'd think there's a reason for those whispering gemstone things. Unless it's just that they don't do anything in the demo. I guess we're going down there. There's another one right there, too. They're also giving me plenty of ammo. Oh, that's a new gun. Okay. Hello. Ow. What? And this... Oh, this is a grenade launcher or something, isn't it? I was expecting a trajectory and it didn't have one, so I just whiffed. Do we have the self-destructing dudes over there somewhere? Oh, hi.
You're slowing me down.
Alright, well, 3 of those or something. Killed him. How am I missing so many shots here? So that's destructible, but there was a wall behind it. Yeah, those guys seem to actually just be self-destructing dudes as well. You're having performance issues with it? Wow. Isn't Ion Fury actually build engine based, or is it just made to look build engine based? I thought it was, actually. So having performance issues with that seems like a not good sign for it. Is it really? Jeez, you would think that modern computers should have no problem with it. Oh, it's modified, though. Yeah, okay. Well, those explode. There's probably a reason to leave those there for now. Oh, jeez. You know what also explodes? Those guys. These enemies are absolutely the most problematic thing in the game right now. Because, like, they will kill you in 1 or 2 shots. And their grenades are really hard to make out. So, like, please do something about the frickin'... I already forgot what they're called. But do something about those enemies, please. Oh, yeah. I mean, I imagine even base Doom is like that. Oh, I mean, Doom also has limits, I guess, for that. I shouldn't have waited on that. That's a lot of you. Is there more of them down there?
Die, freak!
Seems like the shotgun probably does better when that dude's stunned, at least slightly.
You are the target graphic.
And I'm almost dead. Is there any health anywhere? Man, throwables take a while to regen, don't they? Okay, but seriously though, we got any health? Oh, hey, there's health. Alright, better than nothing, I guess. Oh, yeah, no, totally. That was what infuriated me about that arena fight in the first stage, was like... I mean, one time I died to one that was literally around a corner, so there was no way I would have seen it. But also, I would not call those grenades at all visible nor well telegraphed, especially if there's fog in the arena, because they're kind of like semi-transparent. And I don't know about them being telegraphed. Like, if there's a sound I should be listening for or something, like, it doesn't necessarily tell me where they're coming from. Oh, okay, don't go there. I don't suppose I can, like, jump across there or anything. No, I probably shouldn't try it. The content creator circle? Why did it autosave me there? Oh, okay. I guess this is where I'm going. Maybe? No, this is... Yeah, that was kind of the first thing I was thinking, because I think that was what Bridge said back when I played the original Age of Hell demo last year. Because I had the problem with that, too, where, like, all the enemies blended into whatever their sector lighting was. And he said, like, we should think about giving them independent bright maps. And it kind of, like, when I first played the tutorial, I was wondering if the blue dudes actually had their own bright map, but there are definitely places that they do not stand out as much. Oh, that switch is kind of easy to miss. Hello, what do we have here? What on earth? Oh, it's this again. Okay, except I can actually fight it now? Because, like, I saw this attack earlier in the level, and I didn't know what the hell was doing it. Oh, I guess he's dead. Okay. This game does give me kind of like Doom 2016 vibes, where, like, it feels like a lot of the time, okay, that was like an introduction to an enemy, so there was one. But, like, a lot of the time you're either running around doing stuff with no enemies, or there's all the enemies and it's sort of an arena type thing, and there's very little in between. Yeah, no, it would definitely, like, yeah. The fog absolutely exacerbated the enemy contrast issue, and yeah. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Wait, does this guy just, like, do zoomies whenever he feels like it? Because it seems like I shoot him and he interrupts what he's doing to follow me instead. Oh yeah, one thing I mentioned before you were here was that I find the kick kind of frustrating because, like, things that should be easy to hit are impossible to hit because you move forward when you kick. Like, I'm not actually hitting W. I'm just hitting F. But it moves you forward anyway. Oh, wow, it moves you forward more if you're in midair. So kicking is actually, like, a mobility hack. Veronica's kick doesn't? Oh, interesting. Yeah, actually, I should probably time box myself. I would like to make it through the whole demo, but if I don't by, like, 6, I might just go to the tutorial for Veronica just to see what her differences are. I can understand wanting to move forward with the kick in terms of, like, making sure you actually hit what you're attempting to hit with it. And also, I was surprised that they're eventually planning to have 4 playable characters. Or, like, 4 character classes. Whoa, hello. Wow, that lowers faster than... like... It actually starts lowering without you. And you end up thudding back onto it. That's pretty funny. Killing stragglers and get your health back. That's what I would think, because, like, yeah, this kick is gonna hopefully be better against a moving target. There's something back here? I can't see a damn thing right now. I don't know, should I drop down? Oh, I guess I should. Is the yellow skull key always secret? Because so far on both levels, it's been something that's, like, not in the open. It is nice that there's, like, that one candle trying to draw your attention over there. Whoa, almost fell a little farther than I intended to. Which may have been bad, actually. Although, I don't know. Where did... Oh, they probably want me to go over there next. The pit called. Oh, I guess maybe I should go over there, actually. Is there anything over here, though? Maybe not. I guess I'm supposed to land there. Good luck with that. The explosive barrels? Actually, the funny thing is, I think at first I didn't even notice them. And then when I realized, I was like, oh, that looks like a barrel. It probably explodes. Oh, yeah, it does. And then in the first stage, there's a couple of them that are, like, next to destructible walls. I actually had to, like, go back to a previous destructible wall and try one. Although I think for the most part, those destructible walls had secrets behind them. I don't know if I have enough of an opinion to form on it yet. Also, I missed however the heck I was supposed to get up to that. You didn't even know there were explosive barrels. So, like, have more prominent red highlights or something. Oh, hello. That's kind of rude. Walk into boxes, but also there's dudes sniping you. Also, it would be nice if you could destroy boxes more, because, like, this just kind of gets in your line of sight and is kind of annoying. I guess there are actually red highlights on these, but it's... And they actually do glow a little bit, too. Unless that's just the... Unless there's, like, specifically lighting on that, but... Like, it's noticeable on these. I I fit through there? No. I can... Wait. I can fit through there, but not through here? That seems very deceptive. I don't know if this is a secret or not. Oh, that's the one I can't fit through. If this is actually required progression... No, wait, is this... Did I just go backwards? This feels like where I came from. This is definitely where I came from. Okay. Whoops. The player's hitbox is a square that does not rotate. Yeah. Where was that other thing that I wanted to try to reach before? I don't know if I can actually reach it from here. Wasn't it like... It was like across... It's over there. Can I convince you to go up again? Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's not gonna work. Ow. Oh boy, you can land on that. I don't know if I would recommend it, though. The thing is, there's a grate all the way up there. So I don't feel like that's gonna work. Alright, so what else can we do from over here? Because clearly what I did last time was not actually what I was supposed to do. Oh, that's destructible. Those two have no meaning, but that one definitely does. Okay, now we're going somewhere. Oh my god. These things are rude. I can never tell, like, when they're gonna move and when they're dead. They're one of those enemies that has a very delayed reaction kind of death animation. I'm trying to remember what that reminds me of, because I know there's definitely been enemies in other games that have had the same kind of thing going on, that I've had to learn when they're actually dying, so that I don't just waste a ton of ammo on them. Don't suppose I left any health anywhere. Was there any more down here? No, stop going up. Well, whatever. That's probably where I was before. Like, at the beginning of the map. Perforator ammo. I guess that's what we're getting next. I still haven't used the grenade launcher much, actually. Or, well... Is this a grenade launcher, or is it a rocket launcher? It seems like it's actually more like a rocket launcher. Okay, here's a straight-up revolver, I guess. I'm guessing it pierces. Also, I probably should have meleeed some of them. Guess we're using that. That's not a good sound. Yep, that's where we're using that. I don't even know if I've spotted the yellow key, or yellow door in this particular level. Oh, that's right. There was a switch to use it on. I hate to say it, but that perforator ammo makes me think it's like a tank of gasoline or something. Well, I only guessed that it was piercing. I didn't actually, like, it was obvious more so from, like, because, like, at first I wasn't even going to use it, because the first thing I see is fodder enemies. The first thing I'm going to do is put away the new weapon, because fodder enemies aren't worth wasting it on. I just guessed it based on the name Perforator. But it definitely did seem like I didn't have to shoot as many times as there were enemies in there. Also, hang on a second. I need to open windows because it's getting warm in here. At least open them a bit. It's amazing how it's mid-November and it's 76 degrees in this room. Okay, they're giving me 100 health and a bunch of ammo, so yeah, something's about to go down. Oh, what the heck are you? Suddenly bullet hell. Suddenly I'm dead. Wow, those things kind of like don't have a predictable trajectory, and I'm kind of worried they home in. Oh, this always stuns. Interesting. Alright, yeah, Perforator did his job, though. Those better not become regular occurrences. What? Oh, there's multiple of them, finally. It happened. I figured eventually that would happen. I'm in a very bad place. Alright, I mean, that does work. Okay, where are you guys? There you are. Actually, you know what's part of the problem with these guys? Like, they throw fire in a line, but then they also zip in a very quick line, so it's like kind of confusing to like see what they're doing versus what their attack is doing. One of them's dead. Is there still another one? Because that seemed like a very unnatural... Wait, there were at least 3 or 4 of them there. What the heck? I don't suppose I still have health resources. There we go. Also, I didn't actually use that. There's a lot of dudes here, and they are kind of hard to see. Oh, there's one of you over there. That's unfortunate for me. Oh, that hit me? Wow, that was dumb. I can't see half of what's shooting at me right now. That's not a good sound. Oh, another one? Yeah, no. We're not surviving this. I have 21 health, dude. Good luck with that. Since I'm gonna be short on time anyway, and since I have no hope in the world of actually surviving that, I'm gonna go play the tutorial as Veronica. Wow. Like, this is another game that I would have to play on a lower difficulty, like Age of Hell. And I didn't necessarily... With Age of Hell, I kind of anticipated that. With this, I wasn't sure what I was getting into. That's the last fight. I figured it probably would be, given that, oh, you know what? Maybe you can clarify something then. One thing that was unclear to me in the options is, if we go into, is it game options? There's this damage multiplier. Damage multiplier for who? Because it seems like this might affect enemy damage applied to you, but does it also affect your damage to enemies? I was on the middle difficulty, the third one. But yeah, this damage multiplier is kind of ambiguous. But yeah, I mean, given that, like, Age of Hell's original demo last year, I managed to barely push through on medium on the third difficulty after a lot of tries. I would probably be better off also doing this on the first or second difficulty. Enemy damage meaning damage done to them, or damage they do to you? I assume damage they do to you, because that was kind of the impression I got, because I turned this down back during that one arena with the self-destructing dudes, and it seemed like they didn't kill me nearly as quickly when I did that. So let's try it is interesting that damage multiplier is something you can adjust mid-game, even if you've committed to a difficulty. Wow, this guy's bum rushing me a lot this time. These shots are just impossible to dodge. They just keep homing in on you. Like, I wanna treat it like a shmup, but I can't treat it like a shmup because they just keep coming at me. And they home in too. They do kind of lose height eventually, but oh, that wasn't one of these guys. That was just a bunch of jars and stuff. What? Okay, seriously. Oh, I'm getting stuck in all sorts of bad situations. Alright, that was with damage. That was with the damage scaling halved. So, like, I'm still doing bad. I'm just gonna cut my losses. I can't even get back to the part that I was on before. Like, here's the thing. At least in the arena fight at the end of Age of Hell's demo last year, I could see the enemies. Make the enemies visible, then I'll come back and play this demo. Let's try the tutorial for Veronica and see how she's different. The unfortunate thing is if I just play the tutorial, I won't get to see all the different weapons unless I just give them to myself. Oh, hang on a second. So her weapon reloads. Why was I thinking it was the other way around? I was thinking Hellslinger was the one that supposedly had reloading and Veronica didn't. Okay, I got that backwards in my head. Because I remember somebody on Twitter or something, maybe in Arlene's Discord, not sure. I remember somebody talking about that somewhere. And I got it totally mixed up. Oh yeah, her kick absolutely looks like straight out of Duke Nukem 3D or something. And yeah, okay, so her kick doesn't move. I mean... Oh, hang on a sec. She actually auto-fires. Oh, and you can also see it down there. Also, wait. Okay, so the out of 8 is just showing the magazine size, it's not showing your ammo. I was gonna say, like, I assumed this was still unlimited ammo like Hellslinger's base weapon, and it is. Okay. So, on the one hand, you cannot fire it as fast. On the other hand, you can auto-fire it, which to me is a big plus, because having 0 auto-fire whatsoever on the dual pistols with Hellslinger seemed like a bad idea. I mean, granted, once you get other weapons, you don't have to rely on them that much, but... Okay, and she has incendiary grenades, which sound like fun. And this is going to tell me about those. What the... Why was that all the way over there? That seemed dangerous. I missed. Also, are there secrets in here? No, there's not. Okay. This is your... Oh, yeah, I need to find out what her ultimate is. Does this actually have... It does have different text. Okay, adrenaline shot. This temporary buff provides faster movement and reload speed, higher melee damage, and a small health boost.
Ooh, I like that.
If there was a health boost, I didn't see it. Also, why is it... It blinks... It feels like it blinks as if it's wearing out for a longer time than it's actually active? I'm confused. I mean, I assume it's still active then. Oh, it also recharges... That feels like it recharges pretty quickly. So, like, you should basically always be using it. Oh, and that is the end of the tutorial already. Can I give myself weapons? Is that a thing? Yeah, it is. Oh, holy crap, that thing's huge. Okay. So, it's interesting that this shows out of 8 when 8 just always replenishes. And I guess that's still to give you an indicator of the magazine size. These don't do that. Because these are like, the left is your current magazine, and the right is your reserve. So it's a little weird that this does this. I kind of understand why, but it also seems kind of potentially confusing. I mean, it would be something you would get used to quick enough, I think, but... It seems like it might actually be less confusing if you didn't have the /8, but also, I don't know if this is just an artifact of, like, all of her weapons have ammunition readouts formatted this way. Yeah, I was wondering whether that meant, like, I was kind of prepared to assume it meant it heals you, and I'm already at 115, so it probably just doesn't overheal you. Yeah, that's... I was actually thinking, it's like, appropriately enough, if you turn the 8 sideways, it would be an infinity symbol, and that would make more sense. So yeah, that shoots through ammo pretty quickly. Alright, that one's just gone. I'm still trying to tell... Oh, I have to reload. Oh boy, that has a long commit. Yeah, so that one has a little bit of an arc, at least. It's still a pretty strong trajectory, though. So these are all, like, immediate reloads. Like, it's just all in one shot. But the grenade launcher is... separate reloads. Also, I'm out of ammo now. And then what is the... This is presumably also a pierce... No, maybe not. I don't know whether this pierces or not. Also, that's a very spread out range.
Ooh, I like that.
Also, actually, no. So this debunks my theory about all of the weapon readouts having the you know, the 2-number format, because this one doesn't. Oh, yeah, I meant to test that. Can I do that for more ammo? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was something I was wondering about, is whether you have to wait for the full reload. So it's good that they implemented, like, interrupts in the middle. That's really good. So yeah, it is interesting to see how different Actually, you know what? Alright, I'm gonna reload as, or restart as Hellslinger for a sec, because I want to test something. Actually, if I do this, does it automatically give me 2? It does. So, the thing that I was confused about... Maybe I just misread the ammo readout when I first was playing as Hellslinger, but I could have sworn when I first picked up the first of these shotguns, I could have sworn it was using 3 ammo a pop. But apparently not, because it only ever uses 1 ammo a pop. At least when I have the 2, so... I must have misread that. Wait, what? It was? It actually changes the firing mode of the gun? That seems... That... Oh, you know what? That also explains why the big red dudes were taking longer to kill. Because I was thinking, like, at first, didn't this, like, one-shot them with the triple blast? And it probably did. Why, like... On the one hand, I can understand you don't want to eat ammo like popcorn, but then, like... Okay, so, alright, this is like Doom with the shotgun and super shotgun, then. I see, right, because then it reloads every single time, whereas this is not doing that. Alright, that is an interesting design decision. Like, that seems very unexpected. Like, you would expect normally that, like, getting 2 of the same gun fires twice as often in the same way. Hey, Kamikaze. Yeah, I was wondering, that was something I was going to say, too, is, like, as far as I can tell, the all-fire button never does anything for any weapon right now. And yeah, the alt-fire, unless they have other plans for what alt-fire is going to do for this, like... Having alt-fire either switch the mode or be the triple, you know, having the alt-fire always be the triple shot, that could be an option. Yeah, right, something like that. But yeah, like, there's certainly a lot of promising stuff in this, but there's definitely, I mean, again, this is probably also early in development. I mean, obviously they also... pushed back this demo by a couple of weeks, or a week and a half or so, just to work out some of the kinks, so that the demo was in shape that they felt good about it. Most of the issues are conveyance. I mean, yeah, in one way or another, yeah, arguably. And on the other hand, like, they've also done a lot, like, again, like, when I went into the actual first level, they had a lot of, like, reminders in terms of controls, so, like, they seem to very clearly, like, be trying to convey important mechanics when you needed to use them. Good Zen moments on the hardest difficulty. I can't possibly imagine this being Zen right now for me. Anyway, I guess, since I do still have a little bit of time left, I'm gonna turn down the multiplier again. Let's try actually... surviving this final bit. I was wondering if I could run under it when it did that shot. But yeah, you do kind of have to find cover really fast. Well, this isn't working. These guys are just doing me in so fast. In, like, all cases. I just hurt myself. Wait, what? Even when they get stunned, they can still move? That's cheating. Like, that's straight up cheating, dude. If I stun you, you should not be able to move. Like, literally the definition of stun, is enemies stop moving. There has to be health somewhere in this arena that I'm not seeing, right? Now I'm stuck.
Hit the bucket already.
Well, there was a bit there, but then I just got hit again anyway. Oh, and now I'm in one of the monster closets, which hurts you for some reason. Oh, that also doesn't stun for long, does it? Yeah, now I'm already, like, halfway dead anyway. Stunning this guy basically has no meaning, because he gets stunned for, like, 2 seconds, not even. Like 1 second. Yeah, lost half my health again. Oh, you're still alive. I thought they were dead. Oh, and now you're right on top of me. I have so much trouble just, like, spotting those guys because, you know, enemy visibility is already a problem, and then they basically become invisible when they move because they kind of, like, slither across the ground. Oh crap, right, this guy too. It's so easy to just get mobbed. And I just feel like I have a hard time seeing everything in this game. Oh. Yeah, one of them charged at me, and I hit them right on top of myself with a rocket launcher. I don't think I'm getting past this. I think my eyes are honestly tired of this game. Oh, what? That's not the weapon I want to be on. Let's actually save with this out so that I don't have to remember to switch. I'm like debating what weapon I want to use against these guys. I thought usually 2 shots was enough to get these. I guess at close enough range it is, otherwise some of the shots don't hit. Yeah, 2 shots is enough if you hit with it. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna save because I still have 146 health, and that seems pretty good. Oh, that was actually kind of a gift that it gave that to me. Time for the next one.
Hit the bucket already.
I forgot we have those too. Okay, so this stuns for less time than your special does. Oh, am I out of shells? I'm out of shells. Oof. That was not great. Alright, did I actually survive? I don't have a lot of health, but there's probably some stuff around here. I think I actually survived. It only took, you know, 10 tries and half damage. So I didn't actually find the yellow door. Oh, I see. I have a sinking feeling now. We're not done. I'm dead. Yeah, let's make sure I'm not overlooking any health first. There, that's better. How many of you at once are there? Okay, he's dead. Actually, that's another reason to use this weapons. Oh, no. I am selecting all the wrong weapons. Immolator, that's what those things are called. But yeah, multiple reasons I like using this weapon against those guys. One, it means they only move once. And two, it means you won't accidentally still waste ammo against them when they're dying, because you can't tell they're dying.
Die, freak! See you.
Okay, I think I found a good place to do that phase from. There's still another one of them somewhere. Yep, that's more of these guys. Where are you? Is there still another one? Nope, seems like that was it. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to mention at the beginning, too, is like, Metal Hellslinger is not this game. Hellslinger has one letter difference. And then, I feel like there was another game. Well, okay, there's also Hellsinker, which is a really weird shmup that doesn't make any sense. So, not to be confused with that either. What on earth is going on in here? Oh, is this actually... This is a warp back if you want to go back. Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely no fall damage in this game. Where the heck was I going? Over here. That is nice that in this case there is a way to return up there. Can I interact with these? Nope, doesn't seem like it. I did not find a single secret in this. Oh, is that actually the end? That's the end of the level, okay. I seriously managed to overlook the yellow key door or switch. Even though I got the key for it. Oh, and then suddenly, boom, credits. So, same person's doing both sound design and music, because, like, the music is super cool. But actually, even as Korzoden mentioned before, like, the sound design could use some, like, more obvious tells for certain things. Especially just for, like, enemies being present. Oh, hey, Korzoden's actually on the special thanks list, right below Capelli. Oh, and actually Major Arlene's on the list, too. Yeah, I needed the good luck, though, because, boy, the last fight was unreasonable, and my eyes were getting tired by that point. Oh, yeah, that's... Well, I mean... Yeah, it's true. I guess, a few of these folks are in, Hellforge. Nash's name is on here as well. But yeah, thanks for stopping by and taking notes. And, again, I apologize because I was probably... Especially when I got to that second arena with... So, like... The fact that the second secret arena in the first level is your introduction to immolators, that's a really rude introduction to immolators. Like, I actually went out and I was like, let me play the rest of the level, or see what's next, just to see if there's a less rude introduction to immolators that I was expected to see first. Because, yeah, having your first introduction to immolators be an arena with a bunch of fog that makes them harder to see, especially their projectiles, is not the greatest way to introduce them, because holy crap, that's rude. But yeah, based on, like, when I saw the trailer, I was thinking, like, this might have, like, enemy visibility contrast issues, and yeah, that's basically probably the most significant pain point. Do I fight them before that? I didn't remember fighting them before that, so... The comically short and fast lift was in the second level, though. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different comically short and fast lift. Wasn't that in the second level? It was either in the second level or way beyond that point in the first, I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm talking about... I didn't use the yellow key in the second level. I'm talking about in the first level. Oh, you're thinking about the snakes. Okay. So I think there was at least a hint of the snakes at the very beginning of the second level. But I don't even know if I, like, killed one or not. I saw the flame attack, and then it was gone. So if I killed it, I did it by accident. Yeah, I met the immolators in the secret arena in the first level. The second secret arena, because there's two secret arenas in the same place. And the second one of those is where I saw them. And I was like, well, that's a fine how do you do. But anyway, it certainly... There's certainly been a lot of work put into this. Like, you gotta appreciate the amount of work, especially going into, like, the artwork for the enemies and the textures and stuff like that. But yeah, I think bright maps would help a lot in general. I think also, like, lighting detail in some of the terrain. Like, in some places there's good lighting detail, in other places a lot of stuff just kind of blends together because it's a lot of gray and brown. And there's not a lot distinguishing it in all cases. So I think that could help too. But it's certainly, you know, you can tell it's going for something, and it's got a lot of cool ideas too. So it's quite clearly been a lot of work, so kudos on getting the demo out at the very least.